morning. I wanted to share this reading that we got the other night for the full moon and how I translated it for a message for everybody. There were 3 of us and we each pulled a card and they went together like so well. And we actually read them in numerical order, but I'm going to read them in the order in which they came to me. And I actually feel like the order could be interchanged over and over again. That's how well they work together. The first card I pulled was the Shadow card, and it's speaking and mentioning the word fear. And for me, this card with this message is saying that the shadow side of us, our fears and our negative emotions, are wanting to be included. They're wanting to be cared for and acknowledged, and they want to do their job. When you're feeling these things in your body, it is your emotions saying, hey, there's something to look at here. There's something to notice. Something is happening in this situation, whatever it is, when you're feeling the feeling that is bringing this to light. Now, as far as it goes, just acknowledging, wow, I feel really X or about this, or I feel really sad about this. Give it to me. Give it to me. It is a way of just softening and soothing that whole entire energy around fear and negative emotion. But the message goes on to say, consistency. Consistently showing up and letting yourself be in those shadowy moments and be experiencing those not pretty feelings and the things that we may not like to do, but consistently showing up for ourselves, speaking kindly to ourselves, treating ourselves like we would treat someone that we care for. I usually guide the energy like that of a child, because it is like the shadow work, the inner child work is like, it's like a tricky territory. And well, I don't think you have to go hunting for the work will come to you, no doubt. That's just how all this magic goes, you know? So your shadow side is wanting to be seen, wanting to be noticed, wanting to share its information with you. You're being encouraged to consistently be in the look for that. Acknowledge that. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself even when nobody's looking. The thing about self-care is a lot of times nobody is looking and nobody cares. So it's really hard to stay motivated when it's just for you. And I'm saying that because that was me too. Like, well, nobody's looking and nobody cares, so who cares? Well, you have to care the most. And then karma. The thing is, if you acknowledge your fear, if you're consistent in your care, whether it's for happy or sad, wanted or unwanted emotions, you're creating karma for yourself. This message is saying, take time for your fear, take time for your care, be consistent as fuck, and create some good karma loops for yourself. Karma is something that I feel like the word gets a lot more than it is. This is all about attraction when it comes to my mind. And it's not to say that there aren't other parts to it, but the ways that you treat yourself in all of the moments, they add up to a whole lot more of what our karmic return is than I think that we're realizing. A lot of people think, well, I did good today, I'm gonna get a good back. Well, maybe. But like, if your intentions are laced with manipulation and you're kind of really just not really doing it because you want to do it, but you're doing it because you feel like you need to do it, you know, things can get sticky there. So I always say the thing to do when you don't know what to do is yourself first. There is no wrong way to genuinely love and care for yourself. Caring and loving for yourself is by default the best thing that you can do for the universe. If there is something going on right in front of you and there's a person who needs your help, that's probably also a very good thing to do. But not if it means taking you out of your space. Now, if you're a person who can help and let go, because I said so. Come in. If you're a person who can help and it doesn't hurt you emotionally or physically or mentally to help another, then of course you would do that. But just taking care of yourself first is your first right job. That's your first best job. That's your first most important job. The reason being is you are source energy. If your energy ain't up to what you feel like is your proper amount of love and positive energy or moving energy or productive energy, if you don't feel it, everything that you do is going to be from that depleted portion or from that depleted being. It runs you ragged that way. Oh, excuse me. But the message for the new moon, which is a great time to consider this, is start really just listening. Wow, I'm just not feeling good about this. And whether you want to journal about it or talk in a mirror to yourself about it or get support outside of yourself, there's a billion ways to handle it. A lot of times just looking at it is all it wants you to do. Just saying, wow, that hurts my feelings. And sometimes you just kind of sit with just that knowing, like, this person hurts my feelings. And then it goes into multiple spurts because we don't have free will. We can't just say, I decide this person doesn't hurt me. But we can acknowledge that whatever is happening between the two of you, your energy and their energy, this is what you're getting together. So you're going to either want to pull back and recalibrate how you feel and attract from this person, or focus on yourself enough and let the universe decide. I know a lot of times when this was first coming together for me, it seemed like I was losing friends by the blink. I mean, every time I turned around, I was one friend less. So, it kind of comes and goes in waves because if you think about your vibration, it has to do with your mood and your attitude. If you're thinking about abruptly just changing all of that, obviously the people that are used to you being how you are going to be a little like, what? Who is this? This isn't my go along girl. This isn't the one that always says yes. This isn't whatever it would be, And again, this is not to say that the other people are bad people or that they're doing even intentionally wrongdoing to you. A lot of times this stuff happens so, I want to say organically, but when it's not conscious, it doesn't seem like organically is appropriate. But it just happens so naturally, even when we're not doing it on purpose, that, if no one is attracting or focusing on purpose, it's like a bag of mixed nuts, y'all. Who the fuck knows what's going to come out in that handful, But when you're purposely, caring for yourself, caring how people treat you, caring when you're feeling negative emotions, acknowledging that that is something that is real and that deserves attention and affection from you, nobody else. Like, of course, it's nice to be loved and it's nice when other people care for us. But this game is a you game. That's all there is to it. Like, if you don't do you first, everything that you get back is going to be the byproduct of not quite enough you, or a worn out you, or a burnt out you, or a bitter you, or a resentful you, or a manipulative you. It will all, there's no like secrets in energy. You can't like go like hide and say you're like whatever in the bathroom and think that no one's going to hear it. The only thing that matters is hearing it, which is your source, your hub. So that's just the message. It's about your shadow work, your fear, your negative emotion side, wanting to be acknowledged. You taking the time to consistently show up, take care of yourself, care for yourself, and build yourself your own good karma. Like, it seems a little like It does seem strange when you first do this, especially because we're not used to functioning this way. We're used to just doing. Like, people don't put feelings nearly to the front of the priority line is where they should be. It is literally our meter to read how connected or disconnected we are from our source, from our hub. When you feel happy, you're very aligned, you're very connected. When you feel ecstatic, you're super connected. When you're feeling ecstasy or bliss or joy, elation, you are very connected to your source. When you're feeling hopeful, you're connected. You're just not in as much sync. You know, you may be just holding on to hope. Sometimes that's all you get to do. And don't do any of the things that are going to bring you back into the bad space, because bad space is not the word, the negative emotional space. When you're in a hope, it's kind of like the middle board. You're like a flip away from back down the stream, or a thought away from moving way upstream, the stream towards your consciousness. So if you think about like the hub, I always think about it coming out of our heads, like the crown. If you think about it as a stream of energy, the more that you are in alignment, the happier, the better, the more joyful, the more pleasure you are feeling and allowing, the more your stream is open and you are literally like channeling, downloading, intuiting, you're getting information from your source when you're wide open like that. And the more blocked off and closed off you are, the less that stream is open, which then kind of has you in other frequencies. If we think about the thought forms, how it's like, I was saying, it's like a layer cake. The really high vibe people are here, medium vibes here, you know, hopeful vibe here, little cynicals here, super sads here, and then the people that don't even talk to nobody down here. Like, and again, this is just like to give you ideas of like emotions. So in thought form land, that's sort of how that works. Like, people that are sharing the similar frequency are going to be available to these thoughts. People that are really just hopeful and trying are going to be in this hopeful, cynical space. People that are really sad and can't even fucking, you know, they're down here. They're not going to think the same thought that someone is vibrating with high frequency feelings and emotions are going to feel. That just doesn't even make any sense. They can't. It's like saying, oh, I'm really sad. No, I'm really happy. Like, while that looks really cute on cartoons, and I know for some people with big energy shifts, like bipolar, like it can seem like it goes like that, but it still doesn't go like that. The person that is enduring that shift feels that. Okay, there's no matter how happy they look getting there, like someone that is going up and down in that extreme, that is hard. Okay, it's hard or it's controlled. So like, and I mean controlled by either like some ability that you have, because I don't really feel like the things that we call disabilities are disabilities. They're different abilities. I feel like people that are working with bipolar makeup have a bigger ability because they can sort of access the greater ends without transitioning as easily as most of us momentum beings going. And I'm sure they don't think it's a gift most of the time. I can tend to get a little manic. I don't feel I've ever been diagnosed properly or truly with anything with bipolar, but I know some of my attitudes can certainly waver from a manic, even good or bad. I know like my own emotions can get just fucking really extreme. So without even knowing what it's like to be like a fully easily changing being, I can still kind of get a piece of it. If you think about like a little person, like I'm thinking about my kids, because like when they're really like, oh God, wah, you know, because they're not getting their way. And me as the parent, which is not necessarily the best thing, but I try to like bring them back. So I'll offer like, let's go for a walk, let's have like a drink. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, you know, because they don't really have a whole lot of momentum going when you're 3, or, you know, and if you do, it's it's easier to kind of flip and flop. But when we're grown-ups and we have like all the thoughts, all the situations, all the knowings, all the memories, like it's literally like trying to say I'm going from the very top of the diving board to the bottom of the pool without getting wet, without even going through, like, boom, you know, like down the rabbit hole, like, whoa, you know, like full speed ahead. So it makes sense that if we're in a space and we want to shift, we shift. Just like the car shifts in the transmission, you don't go straight from, okay, sure, some cars can go like 0 to 100. But for the most part, they start in first gear under 15 miles an hour. And then you shift to second gears and you're going up to 22 miles or 25 miles an hour. Now you're in third gear and you can hit 30 to 45 miles an hour. Maybe not 45. And then fourth gear, now we're going 50 miles an hour, right? And fifth gear, you can go probably as fast as your little car can handle without the wheels flicking off that motherfucker. Our emotions are the same way. And when the negative emotions are being presented to you through a feeling, through a crying situation, through however it comes to you, the message that I have is just let it be there. Let it be a part of your situation. Every day is not going to feel like bells and whistles. And, you know, it can get more balanced to where it doesn't feel so hard. I know for me, when I was first learning about alignment, if I was knocked out of my alignment, it would easily take me a whole day to get back. And it would make me so upset. I would be like, no! And then I'd be more mad. And I'd be mad at the person who I blamed, which years later we've learned we don't do blame anymore. But you know, back then, it's all a learning thing. So wherever you are in understanding all of this or any of this or none of this, you can understand your negative emotions. You know that likely now when you get this negative emotion or feeling, you're probably doing something to shush it away. You know, a lot of times people will drink. They will just busy themselves with something else so they don't have to look at it. Or just straight up deny it, which is probably one of the most uncomfortable ones. I know for me as a wickedly codependent person, it was inconvenient to other people to have to deal with me being sad. So I just wouldn't be sad out loud. But that made for a really dangerous recipe when I was all by myself. And it made for a scary place to live inside of my head. And I just want to say that all of those feelings that you're thinking and feeling and embarrassed or ashamed of, that's not just yours. That's all part of our pool. We've all experienced some of that to some degree or another. If it's ever been a thought from some person's head, it's still a thinking form. It still lives. While you feel probably isolated or alone or like no one can understand you, it's just not true. And I'm not saying this in a way that you should go tell everybody all of the things that you feel like you're judging yourself for, but it's just to say that you can turn to yourself and forgive yourself. Forgive the part of you that was that person when you did the things that are making you feel the shame or the fear or the guilt or the hate or the anger now. You know, you can do that. And you but you could do that. Like, your intention is as powerful as any other person that has walked this earth. You just have to practice knowing that. And you deserve the relief, you know? We all deserve the fucking relief. This is a goddamn team. Friends, give yourself some relief. Like, so if you think about it, like from a hub situation, like we are all sharing the pool. It doesn't matter who we are, where we are, if we're on earth, if we have these bodies, we are sharing this pool, okay? You can close your eyes and think a thought that someone else thought. Every day, every time you think, you are doing that, you know? So therefore, every time you heal or soften or soothe or just acknowledge your own shit, you are literally helping everybody else too. Taking care of yourself is your number one responsibility in your universal position as a human being creator. Your job is your vibration. Your vibration is your first job. That's your attraction point. And it's okay if it's not like at a place where you feel like you're like attracting all the things you want. Knowing what you are doing and seeing it out loud, like, this is that. And it does not always feel good. And sometimes it feels a lot like, fuck you, you know, like, and then when you kind of get it, then you're going to be even a little bit more mad that you didn't get it sooner. So all the things are normal. All the feelings, they're all normal. And they're all part of something that everyone is going through, whether they go through this now in physical form or they go through it whenever they hit a wall or some sort of an initiation for their own spiritual awakening, or whether it's when you go back and reemerge to non-physical when we pass away. We're all going in the same direction. We are all going in the same direction. And the point of the journey is to be here and explore our unique individualism, to be unique individual beings, to express all the things that we've got downloaded from our stream into this physical body for this time, for this now. And tomorrow you're going to know more, you're going to be more, and you're going to do different things, and you're going to express in different ways. You'll make new connections. You know, that's like the creator way, like to keep evolving and expanding and growing and connecting, you know? And the more that our stream is open, we know the more that happens. When we're feeling good, good keeps coming. And the same hand, when it's bad and painful and uncomfortable, it'll stay there until something will shift you out of it. So that's my 20-minute blurb about our moon reading loop and about 7,000 yawns, because my coffee is just now warm enough for me to like sip it, or cool enough rather, because I can't drink super hot liquid, so it's crazy. Source. So have a good day. Let me know if the reading brought any questions forward for you. Any ways of like how to navigate or understand, like if any of the words felt a little trippy, reach out and talk to me about it. I'm happy to find a way to share the understanding that I have with you. Our perception is really and truly like a big effing deal, you know? So I like to explain things, and I like to share things very, very, very one at a time, you know? I want all the nuggets to be there, because if I just say, y'all, we gotta be good to our sad self, be consistent about it, and make some good karma for yourself. That's a really short reading and the same exact thing I said. But I just feel like, you know, it's a lot for us to want to care for ourselves, especially when we're that sad person, the one that nobody likes. Fuck that shit. Like that sad you. That sad you needs friends too. And you know, the hurt people hurt thing, the person that's crying and feeling the sad or even the anger, they need our love a little more, especially if it's ourselves. So, you know, don't push yourself through something. Don't force yourself into some space. Don't force your feelings. You know, don't always numb them out either. Don't run away from them and don't shush them. Let them be there. See what they're talking to you about. See if there's something for you to understand, to maybe think about considering shifting. When I was ready to quit drinking, it still took me months. Like I just thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. It's called getting ready to be ready. You don't just go, and now I don't drink. Nope. Because last night I even considered it again too. You know, I think the days that are easy, it's like, maybe I'm fine. But I know ultimately in my heart, I won't do it if I don't feel alignment with it. And that's just my own practiced lifestyle. Like I don't do anything if it doesn't feel intuitively guided. Of course, outside of parenting, because CPS does not care if I'm aligned to parent or not. Also, I would, you know, it's funny because it's true. Oh my God. My eyeballs can open a little more. It's quiet though, which means danger. I'll see you guys later. Have a great Saturday. It's really Saturday today now, Blair. Yay, I got the right day. Oh man. Bye.